things to share. And then when it comes actually to time to share, that we feel all of the butterflies and all of the pressure of taking on this responsibility. But you know what? It's a wonderful thing, and I'm grateful for it. And I want to start that way by sharing a little bit of gratitude to the festival hosts. Nicholas, thank you so much for inviting me again to speak this year. This is my fourth year at the Pranic Festival online. I did come in person last year, and what a wonderful experience that was. And I hope that I will be back again next year or again soon because um, I just fully believe in the submersion process. I believe that that's the way that we learn, that we grow, and that we heal. And and I say submersion, a retreat would be a submersion. Like if you want to learn French, I suggest you go to France and be around other French speakers. It's one thing to, you know, be in contact with someone, a guide or a coach as a pranic helper, as a pranic coach, as a pranic guide, or some sort of leader, someone in your life that pulls you forward, motivates and inspires you. It's one thing to be with a coach for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours in a week. It's another thing to be at a retreat or a festival, an event where you're submerged in a culture of like-minded others that are doing the same things that you want to do. And they're at different levels, everyone. And everyone has a value for one another. It doesn't matter what level you're at, that even level 1 helps level 5. It's just the way that it works. So, there's nothing better than to learn this lifestyle than to get into it and be at the event or be at a event that you can get to.
John, can I say
Yes.
something? We would love to see your face while you're talking. So can you stop sharing your screen until you have a slide that you really want us to dive into? We really want to see you. Yay, there he is. Thank you.
Yes. So it really is something to go away with a bunch of others and do this type of work with others. It was about 10 years ago that I went on my first retreat. It was a vegan retreat. This was the first time that I was introduced to the vegan lifestyle and what that was all about. And I say 10 years ago that I would never have considered this way of being. My life prior to the last 10 years was nothing about the vegan lifestyle. And, even the vegan lifestyle, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step towards the right way. Truly, it's a raw food lifestyle that we need to get to. But the vegan is like a step in the right direction. The food at the Pranic retreat is ideal. The World Pranic Festival. It's ideal. The juices, the fruits, the vegetables. This is what restores the health. And we learn that kind of just by living it and the experience and going through the experience ourselves. We learn what it is to get healthy. So just before I, kind of introduce myself, I just want to talk a little bit about the pranic lifestyle for those that are brand new to it, or maybe know me but don't know the pranic me. What is the pranic lifestyle? You know, over here in the West, people don't know what this is. They don't understand it. I want to say the pranic lifestyle. I want to say it's a lifestyle of less. And this is counterintuitive. This is against the grain of mainstream life. It's oppositional to mainstream life because mainstream life teaches more. That's the truth about sort of the modern day life experience. You gotta get more. And chronic life is about less food, less substance, less less other things, and more of yourself. It's a journey into yourself. That's what it is. And, when you go into yourself and you start to, challenge and redefine who and what you really are, you peel back the layers of life to see the truth that is beneath. And, beneath is mind and body and soul. And so, what is the pranic lifestyle or the pranic journey? To me, I say it's a journey into your mind, into your body, and into your soul. And this is authentic. So it's a journey into a bit of a battle with your own self. It's kind of um, unraveling, what is blocking you. It's kind of meeting with your own demons. It's shaking loose your own darkness. It's like owning your own shit, right? This is what it is. It's like taking responsibility for yourself and your life. This is what the pranic journey means to me. It's a change of mind. It's a journey into health. And health is a change of mind. And I hope that I can help you to see why I say that today. So a little bit quickly about me. So for those of you that don't know me, I hope I'll get to know you all someday when I come there, or maybe we will talk some other way. But this is me and my family. And I have a wife. I'm 51. Last year, I celebrated my 50th at the event. It was my 50th anniversary to come there and to have this experience with all of you. I have a wife. I've been married for 20 years, and I have three children, two daughters, and a son. And I want to say that this is my real motivation that got me started. And it was that I had lost my health. That's how I came to the pranic way of life. It wasn't something that I was searching for. I wasn't intending to do it. I wasn't looking for this. I was looking to get my health back. And I stumbled into this. And my family was my motivation. I could see that I was starting to fail. Now, my first failure, my biggest blunder was with my business, in that I had to change my business structure and management, reinvent myself, because the old me, the old way of living wasn't working, and it was showing up in my work. But it was worse. I could see a detachment in my family. I could see a breakdown in my relationships with the people that I loved the most. And this was something that I just couldn't even stand or consider it getting worse. So I had to make a change in the way I was living, in with a desire to mend the most important relationships in my life. And I found that it required me to learn how to love myself, that I couldn't love the others before I could learn how to love and accept myself more better. So, who is Coach John, anyways, just to get a little bit of the more, you know, why am I like this kind of stuff? I'm a lifetime health enthusiast, and I would say that that's like a recovering self-esteem problem. That's what I would say. I had a food addiction. I had a body addiction, like a bodybuilding addiction. Like, this has been an addiction of a lifetime, that I always was pursuing, like, the best version of myself physically. Like, I never felt like I was big enough or good enough, or that if I got bigger or leaner or better, that I would be liked or loved more. Truly, I just had to learn how to love myself and give love to myself more and better. This is what I learned, but it was because of this extreme, you know, bodybuilding Mr. Universe competition. This picture on the left, I was 19. I was Mr. Junior Ontario. This is the provincial champion in my country, Canada. I was the junior provincial champion at 19, and I was pursuing this like as a lifestyle, as a career. Like, I thought like Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of thing. I thought this is what I was going to do. I was a teacher. I taught um, grade 4 to grade 8, a phys ed teacher. I've been a trainer and a coach for 30 years. And most recently, I've gravitated to maybe describe myself more as a private health therapist, a health coach, more than saying I'm a personal trainer, because I don't do maybe as much the traditional personal training things anymore. They've changed a little bit. I still exercise and help people with exercise, but I changed the way I think and speak and exercise. So, at 25, I was this humongous man. And then by the time I was 35, I had torn my pectoral muscle. You can maybe see that I separated my shoulder and I broke my nose very young at 12. All of these sort of injuries and things, I they didn't get fixed. I didn't realize that they were still so broken. And I continued to train on them because that's what I was supposed to do. Like, this was my belief system that I needed to work harder, push harder, go more, be bigger, become something more and better than I was. It was a constant storyline inside of myself. This was my brokenness, my self-esteem problem, the root of it. By the time I was 35, I was so out of balance physically, like distorted and twisted physically. And I want to tell you that the physical twist in my body came from a mental twist and an emotional twist in me, and that I had to unwind this in my body and my life. By the time I hit 40, I was really starting to gain weight. And I was under the old understanding that weight gain was like calories, body fat, stored calories. So what did I do? I had to work out more to burn the calories, eat less to take in less calories. But I wasn't losing any weight, or I didn't see my health returning. It wasn't until I stumbled across the pranic lifestyle that my body started to reset. I started to understand how to reset my body. And I want to say that, like, my facial structure, my physical structure changed. Like, I look and sound like a completely different person than I did. And I want to say that even a year from last year that I was at the event, I'm so much changed again. Like, how does that happen? I don't know what to say. It happens that way. That it
John,
took me,
show us your face
yes,
again now
that
that we
it,
see you
it took
now. Yeah.
it took me like 10 years to kind of unravel the mystery of getting back your health. And it's like I came to the event last year and it was such a high. It was like I was just on cloud nine from being around, 150 other people that are doing the same thing and talking about the same things. And this was so inspiring for me. It really set me free energetically. And this is what it is. It's energetic healing or emotional healing. But I got to tell you a little story that when I left the Pranic Festival last year, that I got into some trouble returning back to my country because of the circumstances of the, the global situation. And in my country, you know, it was very difficult to return home um, with the type of natural mindset that I had. And so I had to go through a little bit of um, process in Portugal, and they stopped me, and you know, I was threatened that I wouldn't be able to return home. I got to tell you how scary this was for me. I mean, I came from the Pranic Festival on such a high and really felt freed from the event. And then on the way home, I was held over in Portugal because I couldn't get back to Canada without some testing. And the testing really scared me. And the threat that I couldn't come back and the worry and the fear of the whole thing was such a trigger for me that it brought up so much scary energy. Like it just scared me so much that it brought up all of this scary energy. And I want to say that this is so important along the way in the pranic journey. It's like the things around us, once you kind of commit to the pranic lifestyle, that the things around you start to speak to you, like your life starts to do things to you that, although they may not be very nice or very comfortable, they're necessary. They have to happen. And I want to say that what happened going to the event, having this cathartic, freeing experience, and then on my way home, being scared to death was necessary part of my healing. And this year, my body healed so much. It's crazy. It's like I took me 10 years to kind of follow this trail of pranic understanding. And once I finally got it that I was actually speaking at the Pranic World Festival, that I still needed to have, like, even though I knew it, I still needed to actually be it and do it more. Like it's it's a journey into you and everything that you have to unpack to fix and change and heal your life. This is what it is. You know, just my opinion. Just my opinion. Just coming up on 51 now. And so I do tend to tailor my talk to people that are, you know, reaching the midpoint of their life. But I really see now that I feel like it's coming younger and younger and younger that people are struggling with their health. But I want to point out that at the midpoint of life, beyond 49, I say 49 is a big one because 7 times 7 is 49. And I want you to know that I want to say that there is something to this 7-year cycle. And 7 times 7 is like you're fully matured human, physically, mentally matured. All chakras are energy centers and all energy is available to you. I want to say that there's like almost like life has two parts to it. Just like the day has the sun and the moon, like the day and the night is whole. The whole day is sunlight and darkness, like warmth and cool. This is the reality of the day. It's the reality of your life. It's the truth about life. And we have to see this that, before 40, it's like you're in the youth of your life and you're kind of thrusting out into your life and creating and trying to get more and become more and get a family and get a career and do the right things and find the right things and find the right way. And then, you know, somewhere between 40 and 50, you know, there's some sort of a transition that comes. And I want to sum it up to this, just this thought that, in the first part of life, you're really kind of optimistically looking to your future. Like you're excited about more, you're in your youth and you just think you've got so much more in front of you. And then some point in the mid there, 40, 50, somewhere around here, 40, 50, 60, somewhere in here, we start to think like we're running out of time. It's like a change in the way we think about our life. It's like before this moment, we were like, we had so much life ahead of us. And then we start to worry about our life. This is like a pivotal change in the life continuum. It's like you're in the second half of life and everything is different or oppositional. This is the feminine side of life or the feeling side of life. The first part, the masculine side of life, it's like you're thrusting out into life, trying to create more life and get more life. And then, the second half of life doesn't change. Like life stays steadfast. It's unchanging life. It's always the same. But in the second half of your life, the only way you're going to realize any change is if you change the way that you think about your life. Because the life doesn't change. And there it is again. That health is a change of mind. That seems to be a theme in my life. So, there is this thing that happens in the midpoint of life that happens physically, like hormonally. There's a big change in your body. And so something has to change in you, or else you're going to begin to wither, become smaller, become less. And that's not bad. I'm not judging anyone that chooses any way with their life. But I want to say if you want to feel fulfilled and joy filled and happy and excited and grateful for your life, you're going to have to change the way you think beyond 40, beyond 50, or beyond the midpoint of your life. It's just the truth of life. And I might bring this earlier to, as I see so much more youth coming this way. And I really think that this is because parents are having children later and passing their own illness on to the children. This is what I see. So it's coming younger and younger and younger that people are trying to find and put their finger on what it really means to be healthy and how that happens. And it's just not the way that we are told. We just have to get a new story in our life. And I want to, you know, move you away from that bodybuilding and fitness imaging that we get in social media, on TV, on the movies, that very, the way that you look is what it is. It's not, you know, beyond 40 and 50, beyond children, beyond family, you'll know and see what I mean if you're not there yet. It's not about that anymore. But I also, so I want to do my part to sort of change the general population, the way that they think about health. It's not about weight loss. It's not about body fat. It's not about what they say in the mainstream. It's not about blood pressure. It's not about cholesterol. It's not about um, your your body size. It's not so much about these outward measures. It's not about the external measure. It's about the internal measure. And if you begin to change the internal measure, that all of those external measures will come into balance. So I want to do my part to try and help those that are searching for health in, trying to exercise more or eat less, count their calories, count their proteins, reduce their fats, get their vitamins, minerals, searching this way to try to get health from outside of yourself. I want to do my part to help those that are stuck in that wheel of samsara, that, hamster wheel. I want to help you come out of there and see the truth that the power is inside of you. But I also want to do my part for even within the community that are kind of stuck, I think, as well, too, trying to live without food. Just to touch on that a little bit, because I think they're two extremes. There's that bodybuilding extreme and fitness extreme and workout extreme. And I think there's that food or starvation extreme. Like, I feel like the pranic community captures people that are trying to get their health back because they got stuck in something wrong or bad, addiction to food or substance or drink or people or work, or just to your own story. Yes, you can be addicted to your own story. Yes, it is just as addictive as cigarettes or anything else. You can be saying your own silly story to yourself and make yourself sick with it. But also to the others that are like dealing with like eating disorder. Like, it might be called eating disorder in the mainstream, but I want to take the disorder away and kind of make it more normal. Like, I want to say the whole world has a eating disorder. You're not alone if you're bulimic or anorexic, or if that's how you came here to this sort of lifestyle. But, you can heal yourself in this lifestyle. But I want to leave a little bit. I want to take a little bit of the living without food forever away, that pressure away from you pranic journeyers. That, it's a lifestyle of less. And absolutely, it's a lifestyle of fasting and less food. It's a lifestyle of rehydration and liquids and fruits and vegetables and life-giving foods or living foods. Energy. It's an energy lifestyle. And we really need to kind of take away like the I'm not good if I eat. I want to get that part away. It's like I have to learn in this journey how to find peace with food and without food. And some people that get into this, even I did this in my earlier years. It's been about 7 years that I've been kind of moving in this direction. Certainly 5 years I've been involved with the Pranic friends, Ella Tom, and following the Pranic and reading about this. 5 years anyways that I've been doing that. And it's really about finding a peace with eating and not eating. If you want to interact with the world, like if you want to sit in a cave by yourself, it's a good thing. It's not bad, but you would basically have to do that if you wanted to not eat ever again. Because as soon as you get involved with the general population, if you're in any sort of relationship, you'll see this that whatever you kind of polarize yourself to, your partner or the other will polarize against you. Your child will go the other way. Your partner will go the other way. The people you love will run away as you push into this food-free life. Like, unless you want to just stay in a cave by yourself, then and pursue no food, great. But if you want to have a life that still has partner and a family and work and friends, you're going to have to find some little bit of peace with eating somehow, some way. You're going to find some acceptance and balance here. So, without being a kind of boss, I hope I have shared something of value here. Um, just going on a little bit more, I want to
John,
talk about,
John, I'm just going to
yes,
remind you to talk just a tad slower. You're doing a pretty good pace, but even just a tad slower for the translators. Thank you.
I want to talk about what I learned health really is. And I want to talk about what health really is. And at the Pranic Festival, Breatharian lifestyles, you know, we talk a lot about what to eat and what we shouldn't eat. We're talking so much about the food. It's not about food. Health isn't about food. Health is something that the body is capable of doing. And it's something that the body does in the absence of food. So, with this being the reality that I've found, I try not to talk about food too much because it isn't about food, right? So, don't get stuck talking about what it isn't about. It's like if you talk about food a whole bunch, it's like you get stuck thinking and talking about food. That's all a part of the food addiction. And that's what we got to get away from. So I really try to get people to really talk about what it is. But I'm just going to say one little thing about food. And I'm going to say this like, if the child inside the mother's tummy is nurtured by the nutrition of the mother and then is born and then nurtured by the breast milk of the mother. And the breast milk of the mother is 1, 2, 3% protein. When the child is growing more than ever in its life, why do we have these giant recommendations about protein and carbohydrates and all these needs of the body? The biggest need of the body is water. It's not even a food. It's hydration. And I want to introduce you to, some new authentic ideas about what it really is. It's about coming back into balance and truth and coming away from food. It's not about food, it's about fasting. This is when the body is healing, when I'm fasting. And it's really health is really, if do any deep study a little bit, it doesn't take a lot to find out that people have been healthy here on the planet before the last 100 years. It doesn't take a lot of science to see that before 100 years ago, people were healthy. Like health isn't a modern day thing. In fact, we're actually kind of declining in health. Although, if you kind of follow kind of the world sort of storyline, it might make you think that we're living longer and we're making strides that are helping us to live healthier, more vibrant life. But it's not really true. It's like I see more cancer, heart disease, disease of all kind is on the rise. Obesity is on the rise. We're becoming less healthy, less energetic, and more out of balance and order than we have ever been before. And the truth is that we have just been a little bit misled by sales and marketing, money, selling things. Shiny things have caught our eye and distracted us. We've been caught up in like this calorie, protein, carbohydrate, fat, vitamin, mineral, powders, burners, exercises. We've been caught by all of these shiny things that are toting themselves as health. We've been caught up by body fat and blood pressure and numbers to measure our health. And we've gotten stuck in measuring and thinking we're good because of a measure or because of the scale or because of something outside of ourselves. And this is false. True health is a pH experience. That should be, I think that's a capital P and a little h. I think that's wrong. pH is what health is all about. pH is the true health. It's potential hydrogen. Now, the thing that we learn about pH, if you kind of look to Google to what pH is, they're going to kind of tell you it's like acid alkaline balance. And they kind of leave it as simply this. And I want you to grow here. pH is not simply acid alkaline balance. It's more than this. The potential hydrogen, pH, what does this really mean? It's a balance, yes. And how is it achieved? What is potential hydrogen even mean? And I want to start introducing something new. I want to say it's going to be trending. You're going to hear more about it. I think I'm going to say hydrogen therapy is what the pranic lifestyle is all about. It's about hydrogen therapy. It's about oxygen therapy. It's about ignition or inspiration. It's about pressure change. And if you look at what potential hydrogen means, it's like the potential for hydrogen to step up to become ionic. What does that mean? So I kind of want to explain this a little bit, and I'll do it with an illustration of something that you know about. You know about the ozone. You've heard about that. The ozone layer up in the atmosphere, high up in the atmosphere, is like this area where oxygen is ionic. It's like at this height, it's cool and the pressure is different. And the sunlight is very directly influencing the air. And the air at this place becomes ozone. It's like ionic oxygen or oxygen that's been inspired by the light of the sun. The sun is a hydrogen ball and it shines a hydrogen light. And that hydrogen electron can inspire. It comes down to the earth, and the trees take the light and they put it into the fruit. They capture the light in the fruit. This is the hydrogen that begins the photosynthesis process. This is like the beginning of life. It's a hydrogen affair. It's like a light affair. It's like there's a sunlight around you and it's capable, you are capable of igniting and turning on a sunlight within you. The solar plexus, I would remind you, is like the decision maker in your body and life. It's the point in your life where you can decide for yourself to ignite or turn on your own inside light or turn the hydrogen within yourself on. That you can ignite yourself from within yourself by the things that you think and say and do to yourself, about yourself, and the way that you think and speak about the others around you, about your future, about your life. The way that you think and speak affects your inner light and affects your hydrogen potential. So like hydrogen therapy is like getting inspired every day. You can actually take hydrogen rich elements from nature. There are many of them that can help and benefit you. There are many ways to up your hydrogen in your life or inspire your body's own hydrogen. It's the light within you, it's alignment with the light around you. And it happens in an organized way. It first is like a realization in your life that something is wrong. You've lost your health, you've gaining weight, something is breaking down in your life, in your work, or in your relationship life. Your relationship with food or drink or substances come out of balance. You've come out of balance with work or money. You've come out of balance with yourself or the people around you. It's an out of balance with relationship, and it begins inside of you. And we can change it with physical. and mental wellness with thinking and speaking about true health.
John, I'm just going to let you know we're less than 10 minutes out for wrapping up.
I will wrap it up. I think I'm at my last couple of slides.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So the science of pH is a science of pressure and breath and light, or pressure and breath and fire. It's a science of balance. It's a physical and mental practice. It's exercise, but not exercise that destroys you. It's exercise that inspires you. It's exercise that moves, lengthens, and strengthens your body and gets your body breathing, because oxygen and hydrogen are a humongous part of the health process and breathing. And when you're pushing your body, you're changing the pressure inside of the body and pushing oxygen and hydrogen into the cells. And you're pushing that into the cells under pressure, and you're adding to that an internal change of mind, a new dialogue, a positive, hopeful, optimistic worldview. It's kind of like the best is yet to come in your life. It's a physical and mental practice that changes you emotionally and has you growing emotionally and spiritually. If you want to contact Coach John, please follow me on Instagram. If you want to ask me a question, please send me an email. Please get into my Telegram chat. I would love to answer anyone's questions if there are any.
Absolutely. Thank you, John. You know, I remember last year, we'd love to see your face again, actually. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yes, there you are. I remember you guiding us in a movement practice last year. And I remember your presence and the way you spoke was actually literally embodying everything you just said. The way you spoke was very much about positivity. It was about being engaged with embodiment and loving yourself so much that you have this I don't I'm at loss for words. But what's coming to me is this divine shift. And I just had a few minutes of a movement practice with you, and I really everything you're saying right now is exactly what I experienced at that time. So thank you. I have a comment from someone online who said, John, I appreciate your testimony, your truth, and your existential way of pranic living. Another one said, thank you for your authenticity, for telling us intimately about yourself. So, does anyone here in the group have a question for John at this time? We've got just maybe just under 5 minutes. We've got a question from here. Yes. Fantastic. Come over here so he can see your face too. I'm going to sit right here.
Hi, John. Thank you for your sharing. Could you speak a bit more about this type of exercise that you are touching upon in the end?
I would talk about the exercise as, you know, we want to give ourselves a little bit of a push every day. Yes, you want to push on yourself, but get away from the, you know, every single week doing heavy bench presses, heavy squats, and heavy weight training. This sort of sticking with only one thing or one movement, or always repetitively doing the same things, will freeze the body in like trap. When you're always doing the same thing, like if you work a 9 to 5 job for 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 years, It's doing the same thing that gets us into our human ruts. And we get stuck and we get stagnant. And whether that's bench pressing or working or being a mom or being an employer or employee, it's a role of any kind. And that can be a role in the gym or a role at home. It's like doing the same thing all the time is a trouble. So kind of be into a fluid type of movement that while you may do some of those things sometimes, don't make it be that thing that you do all the time. Mix it up. Make it be not only about strength. Everything in the world tells us you got to push harder. I want to say it's not about pushing harder as much as it is about being smarter, about holding a different thought process in your mind while you do it, rather than keeping the same old thought process in the mind and doing the movement. It's a change of mind that changes your life. It's that I have to hold a different, positive, hopeful thought process in my mind when I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing. It's a strength, a contraction, and a relaxation. See the two, the reality of two, that the muscle contracts and the muscle lengthens. And so to train it properly, adequately, and balanced, you must strengthen it and lengthen it. It's not just one thing. Don't get stuck on one thing. Okay. Train both and add breath work to it. Instead of being so focused on how many times you lift it or how much you lift, focus on breathing, focus on changing the pressure in the body, and focus on changing the mind that you are thinking something good about yourself. You know, you try to lift a certain weight and you don't accomplish it, and then you think poorly about yourself. This is the trouble.
Fantastic. Thank you, John. Um, just looking like oh, you're unfrozen now. Is there anyone else who has another question for John at this time? We have one more. I think that this will probably be it. Yeah, we're at the hour. So let's take one more question.
Hi there, John. I'm just interested. Do you find you have enough energy to do your exercise regime, or do you find that you need to supplement with carbs to have enough energy to do exercise?
This is the thing. This is the thing, you know, where we sort of think that we get our energy from food, that we grow in this paradigm. You are what you eat. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. 3 meals a day makes you strong and healthy. We grow up with these ideas. You know, we get our energy from food. I want to change this paradigm about energy. We don't get energy from food as much as we get energy from breath. We get energy from oxygen. I want to point to the true reality that the human is a aerobic metabolizer, in that it takes in oxygen and breathes out carbon dioxide. And in this process, it creates ATP or energy. This is how the body creates energy. But it's like it's forgotten that this is the truth, that this is how the body creates energy. And we gotten stuck in this taught paradigm that we get our energy from calories. Yes, we do get some energy from calories, but I tell you, just go ahead, eat as much potatoes and meat as you like and see if you become more energetic or lethargic. Like, just fill your plate with it and you'll see. Like, does it really give you energy? I have plenty of energy and I sustain that mostly with liquids, mostly with liquids. If I eat when I eat, it's no more than once a day, you know, so I don't have to eat every day. And I don't say that there's a one way to do it, but I think we need to spend some time each week like working on our fasting and then a little bit of relaxation. Like it can't just be fasting, 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 pushing, pushing, pushing. Like you can take the pushing of life and bring it into your fasting life and do the same thing. It's another mistake. We need a balance. We need to learn how to balance this. And it's a mental and physical practice and a lifestyle that enables us to find a balance. Energy is something we create inside of ourselves.
Oh, thank you, John. That was one of the most potent things I took from your discussion last year, and you just repeated it again, that we get energy from breath more than we get it from food, that the breath will produce ATP for us. That was my big take home before, and you just repeated it. It's fantastic. Thank you. I just want to thank you, John, for your honesty and your sincerity, and for sharing again so intimately your journey and your process. It's an inspiration for me, and I'm sure everyone else here as well. Thank you so much for joining us this year at the Pranic Festival.
Thank you, lovely. Thanks for having me, guys. I hopefully see you again really soon. Sending love to all of you. Thank you so much.